Good morning, YouTube. So with today's video, I'm going to give you top 10 Burberry fragrances for 2023. I haven't done a best Burberry since I believe it was 2021. So you might see a lot more videos for the remainder of the year of the best ones from each brand. So I'm going to try and do a little bit more that I haven't done in maybe a couple years or even ever. With my lists, they're never in any particular order, but with the last 5, they will be, all right? Now, first one is going to be one that just, in my opinion, is actually not so bad. The lineup itself never caught any love, but that's going to be Burberry's Mr Burber. This is going to be the EDT one. So this is really not so bad. It's a green woody scent that is fresh, citrusy, but it's more green and woody. The woodiness is going to be like sandalwood, cedar, but also vetiver. The greenery is going to be like tarragon and mint, but there is grapefruit, there's lavender, and I believe maybe some musk, maybe towards the base. But overall, it's just a very green and very woody scent with a little bit of lavender and a little bit of citrus. It's more spring than anything, and I think that it's a great everyday fragrance. Just like the everyday man. Like if you are far into your journey, or if you have a very large collection, this is gonna be, no, this is not gonna be for you. This is just for someone who wants no more than a dozen at the most in their collection. It's great for every day, but for me, it's a great office fragrance or just a work scent, because some of us, we don't work in an office. I'm a bus driver. I think it's a great blue collar fragrance. Whether it's white collar or blue collar, nonetheless, it's just a great work scent. Longevity is gonna be about 6 hours. Next one is a great scent that came out in 2010 and it's discontinued. A lot of guys like this one, and gentlemen, guys, I understand. I wish it wasn't discontinued, because at one time you can get this for like 20 bucks. Burberry Sport. Juniper, musk, cedar, citruses, seawater, ginger, and wheat. As in wheat, like what Canada produces. Wheat. I don't get wheat. What I do get, let's look, there it is. What I do get, I clearly get the woods towards the base, but it's heavy. And ginger and citruses. Oh, and of course, I forgot to state seawater, so like an aquatic. But the ginger is what really energizes this scent. The bottles themselves are kind of tacky. They're in all honesty, they're ugly in my opinion, but it's all about the juice. This is great spring and summertime. Summertime, probably more so when the sun is just beating your ass down. This will just help you just get through it. I really wish that, Burberry, and I guess they just weren't selling anything, right? I guess they just weren't really selling any numbers, and that's what companies do eventually. They just phase them out or they just completely stop. But at one time, $20 online. I think they go for about like $150 now on eBay. I personally, I do not think it's worth that price tag. But longevity, not bad. It's not great though. It's a sports scent, it's a summer scent. You're gonna get about 4 to 5 hours at the most. Next one is another spring and summer scent that is an oldie. I think it came out in 1997 or 1998. Let me check the collection. Yeah, it's gonna be one of the more older ones in this list. Burberry Weeken. This is just loaded with citruses. It's more lemon though than anything. The opening is quite synthetic and it smells quite cheap, in all honesty. Like when I first smelled this like 10, 12 years ago, I'm like, what the hell? Like my nose was not trained then. Hell, it hasn't much improved since. But like back then, even then I couldn't handle it. Now I can, but even when you still spray it in the air, even in the air, you still get that harsh chemically smell. But you do get like a lemony pledge sort of vibe. Loads of citrus, you're gonna get ivy that does add that green component. Some musk, there is honey to kind of like sweeten it up. It's not overly sweet, but there is a little bit there. There is oak moss, I believe some sandalwood, and of course, musk. A lot of summer fragrances just have like a lot of citruses along with musk. Clean, inoffensive musk. That's what this is. So, Weeken, the name. What it pretty much is, it's just a casual, laid-back weekend sort of fragrance. If your day or if your life is just Hakuna Matata, just you're on the beach, you're carefree, you're laid back, This is pretty much your personality in a bottle, because that's what it is. It's a carefree, laid back sort of scent. Perfect for the summertime, springtime, white t-shirt and jeans, thongs or flip-flops as we call them, thongs in Australia, but just like flip-flops, shorts, and a tank top. That's what this is. Longevity, 5 hours. Next fragrance came out in 2013, and it's a limited release because it was a summer release. That's gonna be Burberry Summer 2013. This smells fantastic. Amazing for the summertime. The only drawback is that it doesn't last more than an hour. So why did it make the list? Because just the smell of it is it's just summertime. For me, this is one of the best summer fragrances in this list, and there's a few freshies. This is not as good smelling wise as this one here. This has a lot of mint. The mint is energizing, it is green, it is herbal. That is what just uplifts your mood. There is time to give it a little bit of an herbal touch as well, but loads of citruses. There's woods, but there's also juniper berries to give it a bit of an airy, maybe slightly medicinal touch. So the juniper berries and the mint itself, I'm getting tongue-tied here, really just add to the scent, but the performance is piss poor. It's like an hour, you might get 2 hours. It's a fragrance just for like laying on the beach, I'm barbecuing, that sort of it. Just casual. If you want to wear something and if you can get this for a good price tag just to run a few errands, this is what this fragrance is. You know, or if you're into aromatherapy, that's what this fragrance is. But like for 2 hours at the most, that's problematic. Maybe that's the reason why that it never really sold. And again, I know it's a summer release, it's like a summer like limited edition, but I don't think it really sold all that much. But it's such a fantastic smelling fragrance. Next one is another great summer scent that's not gonna break the bank. I think that this one here and this one here are the most inexpensive, cheapest fragrances in their catalog, but Brit Splash, Burberry Brit Splash. This is very much like the name itself. It's very, very aquatic. It's just super, super refreshing. Oh yeah, so loads of aquatics, seawater, sea notes, whatever. You're gonna get watermelon, or sorry, not watermelon, but melon dew. So the melon dew does give it a little bit of like a fruity, like a watery, fruity touch as well. There is musk, moss, there is cyclamen to give it a bit of a watery floral, but also violet. The violet does add that very airy feel to it, but at the same time it does add a little bit of a powdery undertone. Just very, very refreshing. The name itself, Splash, that's what it is. Like when you splash on water, like when you're diving into a pool, cannonballing into a pool, and it's hot, it's refreshing. That's all it is. Casual, pool party, barbecue, flip-flops or thongs. You know, this is actually a good thong fragrance. So ladies, if you want to wear it with a thong, by all means. And fellas, if you are a beach bum yourselves, this is a great beach fragrance. The drawback, of course, is going to be the performance. This, however, is better than this. Not all that much, but maybe an hour more. Now we're getting into the official top 5 numerical order. Number 5 is going to be The Beat. This came out in 2007 or 2008. This is heavy in citruses, but it's also quite heavy in black pepper. There is vetiver, there is thyme, there's geranium, but again, citruses, pepper, the main takeaway. The dry down is going to be a little bit green, very woody towards the base, and there is going to be like a little bit of geranium to give it a little bit of an old school sort of vibe. This is more summer than anything, and for me this is a great work scent. It's not overly casual, nor is it overly classy, but you can dress this like with a golf shirt. But this is just, again, a great work scent along with this one here. Now if you were to ask which one is the better work fragrance, Mr. Burberry itself, EDT, the better option. But if you want something with a little bit more kick to your work fragrance with the black pepper, this is great for that. Longevity, 6 to 7 hours. Fragrance number 4 is going to be one of the more mature, but also one of the more gently fragrances in this list, and that's going to be Burberry's Mr. Burberry Eau de Parfum, or EDP. This is a fall and winter fragrance. And I do think that transition from winter to spring when it's still cold out, but this definitely does have that old school gentleman touch. So some of the notes that do give that old school gentleman touch: lavender, nutmeg, there is cardamom, the patchouli, which is definitely there, but also there's gonna be some tarragon to green it up a little bit. So main takeaways: lavender, spices along with the patchouli, then it's gonna be the tarragon towards like the least, okay? This suit and tie. It's classy, again, mature, it's work, it's formal. This is what a gentleman, like a dad would wear. So fathers out there, if you are looking for a very versatile fragrance that's not gonna break the bank, that is for a collection that it's not very large, this is something that you might wanna look into. Versatile, signature scent worthy, dressing it down, so you could dress it casually, but also if you're looking for a suit and tie sense, this is definitely that. Longevity, 7 to 8 hours. Fragrance number 3, this is fantastic. It's perfect for the fall and wintertime, or autumn and wintertime, depending on where you're located. But Burberry Hero. This is gonna be the Eau de Toilette. The EDP I have not smelled. I do have a decant that's gonna arrive tomorrow. This, if you like heavy fragrances that are very heavy with cedar, and there are 3 different types of cedars in this. This is one that you're gonna like. There is juniper berries as well that do add a little bit of a medicinal take, but there is pepper. So it's pretty much just woods and spices. Bad boy, but gentlemanly. Leather jacket and a black tee with a tuxedo. That's what this is. It's just great. And for an EDT scent, longevity is pretty solid as well. I myself get anywhere from 8 to 10 hours. Fragrance number 2 is a perfect scent for the spring, but more so summertime. Mr. Burberry Indigo. This is the best one from the entire Mr. Burberry line. The least one is gonna be Element. Just absolute shit. I have it. I do have a bottle because that was the only way that I was able to review it. Wasted my money on it, but this is not a waste of money. It is a little bit more expensive now because it used to go for like 30 bucks, but now I think it goes for about like 50, 60, which in my opinion, I love it. I would get it again. But why I love this one is because it has a lot of citruses, but a lot of mint. The mint is herbal, it is green, and it is energizing. It just gives you that pep to your step. It's just a fantastic feel-good fragrance. But it is also a little extra green because it has sage and rosemary, it has violet to give it a little bit of an airy touch and a little bit of a powdery undertone. And there's some sort of woods and I believe musk as well. This is perfect. White t-shirt and jeans, flip-flops or thongs, hello Australia, jean shorts, bathing suit, whatever, you know, like a beach bum sort of fragrance, to school but also to work. It's not overly professional, but sometimes you just want a fragrance that's clean, fresh, and inoffensive. That's this. Longevity, 5 to 6 hours. And we have come to numero uno. This one came out, I believe, either in 2006 or 2008. And when I came into this community back in 2010, 2011, it was getting a lot of mention. Burberry's London. Burberry London. For me, it has a lot of scent memories of back home, but also when I came into this community. I'm one of the few old guys that's still remaining. A decade in, and I'm proud to say that. I may not have the largest following, but for everybody who's been following me for years or even now, I'm grateful. This just brings me back to a different time. Fragcom. When I came in, we call it the golden age of Fragcom. It wasn't so commercialized, but it also reminds me of my hometown. Just because it has so much woods to it. It's a Christmas tree in a bottle. That's what it is. But for me, it reminds me of like when I would ski, like downhill ski back home, and you get all these coniferous trees, all these cedar trees. It reminds me of that. But there's loads of guyak wood. So we don't have guyak wood back home, back in Sudbury and Timmins. We got like pine trees, cedar trees, birch trees, poplars. We don't have guyak wood. But it does remind me of back then, right? It's got tobacco, port wine, cinnamon, pepper, and leather. What I personally get is that I do get the tobacco. It's like a pipe-like tobacco, a lot of woods, some spices, and I myself get a little bit of like a resinous ambery touch to it. I don't know if it's just me or not, but for me, it does have a bit of a resinous balsamic-y feel. Balsamic is what I should have said. This is mature. It is gentleman, but at the same time, it's bad boy. Leather jacket, black tee, but also like tuxedo. Fall, wintertime, longevity, 6 to 7 hours. Guys, that's it. That is my top 10 Burberry fragrances for 2023. I do have other Burberry scents in my collection. I think I have 3 more. Definitely like the Mr. Burberry Elements. And man, I have the other Burberry Sport. I forget which one, but there is another one. And oh boy, I forget the other one. But anyways, any reviews that I've done on these fragrances that were in this video, including other videos that I've done from this brand, they will all be down in the description box below, just in case that you wish to check that out. And because that this is the 2023 video, if you want to see the last one I did, which was back in 2021, check out right here. And because that Burberry, like with their fragrances, are affordable, why don't you check out right here. And if you like this very video, please leave me one of these. I thank you for the time, take care, and I will see you later. Thanks for watching, everybody.